Hello there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with the last deck tech of this week. Baylen the Haymaker was the runner-up in the poll I put up last week, and so Baylen gets covered today. Green, red and white for a 4/3 Rabbit Warrior, and it's very token focused is our Baylen, because we can tap 2 untapped tokens to add a mana of any colour. We can tap 3 untapped tokens to draw a card, and then if we tap 4 untapped tokens we control, we get to put 3 +1/+1 counters on Baylen against trample till the end of turn. That can happen as many times as you want it to in one turn, because there is no only once per turn restriction. It just happens. So yeah, technically on a turn after you've cast Balin, you could be attacking with a 10-9 trampling thing, potentially. Anyway, so as you can imagine, today's deck is really focused on token generation, and this is what it looks like. Before I go any further with the deck though, just remember this has been recorded before the Bloomburrow set is released, so the only Bloomburrow card in this deck is Balin, so this is really a starting point, so just bear that in mind, because if there's anything else in Bloomburrow that really does work well with this, and I know there's a lot of rabbit synergies in the deck, some of these cards may change, but I think this is a good starting point. So here we go. We have Ramp, we have Birds of Paradise. We had to play Gold Vein Hydra in here because the treasures, yes, they come into play tapped, but once you kill it off, all those extra treasures, you can tap tokens, because they are tokens, to do the whole +3/+3, well, +3 +1/+1 counters on Baylen, so can't complain. Novice Inspector and Thraben Inspector both give us little clue tokens, which help with our card draw and power up Baylen when we get there. Ocelot Pride makes an appearance. It is going up in price rapidly. I was very lucky. I picked up one when it was about a ticket and a half. It's now up to 18 on MTGO. So, yeah, we know it's seen playing modern. But beginning of the end step, if you get gained life this turn, you get a 1/1 white cat token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, for each token you can enter the battle for this turn, create a token that is a copy of it. Late in the game, this is really good. You get so many tokens, it is crazy. Ajani, Nactor Pariah, makes an appearance as well. Obviously comes in and gives us a 2/1 cat, and if we can flip them into the Planeswalker, it's all good. Yes, we won't be chucking around many +1/+1 counters, but the 0 will help a lot. Dockside Extortionist had to be here with all the treasures it can create, along with Generous Plunderer to give our opponents treasures and deal damage to them with their artifacts, and give us a treasure to help towards Baylen. Because we are so focused on treasures and clues, Academy Manufacturer is a no-brainer in the deck. Anim Pakal, 1000th Moon, is also here to give us a whole load of gnome tokens. They come into play taps and attacking, but we'll see about that. Brer Bridge Tracker gives us a clue with landfall, and Ginny Faye, Jetmir's second, just gives us, we can make the decision to change the tokens we're creating into cats or dogs if we need to, and really sits at home in this deck quite happily. Peregrine Took wanders over from the wonderful world of Lord of the Rings to give us food tokens as well. Sandstorm Salvager also makes an appearance. I like this card. 2 and a tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature token you control. They gain trample till the end of turn. Really works very nicely with Jenny Faye if you're making a load of cat tokens. Great little combo. Tireless Tracker, more clue tokens, and we get a bit of a pump when we sack them. Wildfire Awakener, let's have a whole load of 1/1 red elemental creature tokens, shall we? Yeah. Okay, and whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to target player. Hello combo with Baylen. We can make a whole load of tokens and then use them to give us extra mana, draw cards, pump up Baylen. And while we're doing that, we're dealing damage to opponent we don't really want to make friends with. Wojek Investigator, beginning of your upkeep, investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand with you. With Baylen in play, this is just extra mana. Aragorn also pops over from Lord of the Rings land. Attacking creatures you control have first strike and renown, so when they deal damage they get a bit bigger, and whenever a renowned creature you control deals combat damage to a player, double the number of +1/+1 counters. Probably deserves its own deck that I haven't looked at yet, but for now we're using it in Baylen. Benny Brack, Zoologist, also helps out, gives us some extra card draw for the tokens we're creating, and easy to cast with a Convoke ability. Hero Blade Horde gives us more soldier tokens that are tapped and attacking, and the Battlecry Pump. Master of the Fells gives us a wolf, and then if no spells were cast last turn, you get to transform into the Ravager and keep transforming and flipping around and getting more wolf tokens, hopefully. Merchant of Truth. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate, and it gives all the clues we're generating exalted. Now, obviously it is non-token and we do have a lot of token creatures, but probably still worth having in here, from my point of view, just to get the exalted trigger, if we can attack with a big flyer in the air that the Merchant of Truth would be. Mondrak, Glory Dominus, doubles up all our token production. Mariel, Shield of Argave, gives us a load of soldier tokens, which obviously come into play untapped and can then be used to pump up Baylen. Porphyros had to be here. The amount of creatures we're creating that are tokens, we might as well get the damage in this way. Yes, playing Porphyros makes you a big target. I'm very aware of it, but it's worth it. Same with Selvala, Eagle Trailblazer. Whenever we cast a creature spell, we get a mercenary. Then we get to tap it to add mana. 1 mana of colour for each different power among creatures you control. Should get a fair little bit of mana ramp off this to help out, especially when you have things like Bonehall Dracosaur, had to be here, Goldspan Dragon for the treasure tokens, and then Seedborn Muse really helps out by untapping everything for us during each end step. Not end step, sorry, upkeep step, my bad. Yeah, had to happen. Ogre Attack is also here to cover treble up on our creature token production. Fabine, Boss is Confident. I know I did a whole deck on this the other week. You can go back on the channel and find it. But creature tokens you control have haste, which is nice. And then we get to pump up our creatures or get more tokens at the beginning of each combat step. So, yeah, Fabine had to be here. And then, because we are creating so many, well, hopefully creating so many creature tokens, Crater Hoof is here to give us a win condition big time. Alongside, not so much a win condition, but Cavern Horde Dragon, sorry, gives us a nice big flyer in the air with haste. This works really well if we've got a load of clue tokens in play, along with the Merchant of Truth. Believe me, damage in the air, very hard to deal with, especially since it's flying and trample. And whenever it deals combat damage for player, you create treasure token for each artifact that player controls. Not going to fault this at all. A few spells. The usual selection of things are here. So Strike It Rich for treasure tokens, Fast Seek for ramp. Grand Crescendo is here to protect our creatures to make them indestructible. If we can pump in a little bit more to get some citizen tokens, all well and good, but mainly it's double white to give everything indestructible. Nature's Law, 3 visits, Cultivate, do the ramp. Jessica's Will gives us some mana and some cards. Achroma's Will gives us a way to win the game quite happily. Big score for the card draw and the treasure. Second Harvest. This is a card definitely worth talking about. For each token you control, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that permanent. I have played this in a game where I've had Porphyros in play. I've had a whole load of creature tokens, someone's Wrath. I've responded with this and won the game and killed them before their Wrath resolves, so it's removed from the stack. Very beardy win condition, very great fun in this deck. Bear it in mind all the time. Unexpected Windfall also here just to give us a couple of extra treasures and some card draw. Artifacts, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman are both in the deck. Haven't seen it for a while. And Amulet of Vigor had to happen. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped and under your control, untap it. So all those soldier tokens we're creating that come into play tapped and attacking still come into play, attacking, but they're untapped. So, you know, you can then use them in response to draw cards and then pump up Balin if you need to. So Amulet Vigor is kind of key. Legs of Immortality, just shuffle everything back in again. Soul Ring for ramp, Arcane Signet for ramp, and then one of each of the talismans for a bit more ramp. Transmutation Font is here to give us clues and foods. Not really going to sack off anything else unless we really want to use 3 tokens that are different names to go and get Bootlegger's Stash to make sure that all our lands can produce treasure tokens, which makes Baylen even more silly. Enchantments, Fey Offering, because we probably will be casting at some stage non-creature and creature spells. Anointed Procession, Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, you all know what they do, they make even more tokens for us. Search the Premises comes in as well. I haven't played this one for a while, but whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker, we get to investigate. Okay, that's cool. Smothering Tithe, yeah, sorry, I know everyone dreads it. It's one of the probably most hated white cards ever produced at this stage, but I still play it and I still enjoy it. Assemble the Legion just gives us a whole load of soldiers, which really does help with Bariel as well. Cathar's Crusade pumps all our stuff up something chronic with the amount of tokens we're producing, and then Virtual Loyalty gives us a token, and then when we get to cast it, has the whole +1/+1 counters and untap every creature at the end of your end step. Yeah, the deck's good. Beyond that, usual selection of lands. Some of them are a bit pricey, like, you know, I have no idea. I'm going to be honest. Well, I do know why. Elegant Parlor shot up because of the modern red-white deck. I'm aware of that. So, yeah, some of the lands, they're all here, but the red-white lands are here. It's worth pointing out Gavany Township's here to help us pump up our creatures as well. And I chucked in Keswick Wolf Run just for a change, just so we can do an Alpha Strike if we need to make sure we win. And that is it. That's my personal take on Baylen the Haymaker. I think there's probably around about power level 5 at the moment. If you want me to put a real number on it, maybe 6. I think it's going to be better than that in the long run. I mean, I'm not playing Jetmir. I know that should probably be in there, but I try to avoid playing Jetmir. And there are other things that I think are going to be coming that make Baylen even more powerful in Commander. But this, I think, is a really good starting point. So, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you think there is anything that's going to make Baylen even better, please leave me a comment down below. I do try and respond to the comments. There may be a bit of a delay over the next couple of weeks when I'm on holiday, but I will still try and respond to them when I see them. If you can, hit the subscription button. I'm sitting at 464 subscribers here on YouTube at the moment. Really like to get to 500 by the end of the year. So if there's 36 of you who haven't been here before and you can hit the subscribe button and help me out, I'd really appreciate it. But for now, thanks for watching. You want to see me play this when I'm back from holiday? There's a link to Twitch down below. You can follow me there in the meantime and, you know, do the bell notification things, you know, when I go live when I'm back. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week in some videos. Bye.